What color should I do mine? The
Blue.
same? Brew?
Yeah, blue.
Light brew?
Yeah.
That one?
Mm-hmm. We're feeling blue today.
A little bit blue.
Little bit blue.
That's enough.
I thought we were on a vibe.
Well, we were, but... Hold on, I feel like it's way too much of me.
Seriously, stop hogging the camera.
So I didn't put in earrings. Whatever. Should I?
Pause.
Should I put in earrings?
Pause.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some.
All right, Mo, peep your earrings. Hoops.
Hoopies.
Hoop them out.
I did. Okay, let's start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the GroupChat Podcast.
It's your hosts,
Hannah and Mo.
and Milo.
Yeah, he's always here whenever we record at my house, which has been, we've been consistent for once, the last now, 3 episodes, I think. Mm-hmm. We're all here, so that's good.
We had a comment on one of our videos that wanted...
He said...
Can you read it? Is it on your phone?
Yeah. And I quote, it was a lot to take in. We just saw it not even an hour ago. Great pod. Could we try no socks on one episode? Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Imagine our dogs out. Fully out. Oh my God. What a foul comment.
Unfortunately, we will not be doing that as a theme in the near future.
Sorry about that. But maybe we'll change our minds one day and feel a little bold with it.
Dude.
Oh my God.
If anything, you want Mo's feet out. She has cute feet.
When I clip my toenails. But that should be anybody's feet.
My feet look like hands.
No, Hannah's feet, we always say, and so does she, that they look like Minecraft feet.
Yeah, because my ex said that.
Ooh.
He's on it.
That would be really good to tie into the topic of today, but we will not be jumping on board with that quite yet.
But it was not a compliment when he said it.
Yeah, probably not. I can only imagine. I think I would have cried.
The Minecraft people, their feet are like little boxes.
Like a square. Absolutely a square. Mm-hmm. No shape, just a square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what my foot looks like.
I get it.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
Moving on from the feet.
We both have our little matching cozy sets on. Mine's light brown.
Where's yours from?
Hers is dark. Aeropostale.
Awesome.
Thank you. Where's yours from?
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Nike. Swoosh.
Mm-hmm.
And our beverage of the day, we have mimosas, and they're very, very orange, so don't judge too much, but it's because I bought a different kind of juice. I didn't want to walk all the way over to the dairy section because it was the back opposite corner of the store. So I just got this juice, which is Welch's mango pineapple. And it is.
It's pretty good.
It's just really orange. It looks off-putting.
I just don't know which fruit is orange, mango, or pineapple.
Well,
anyway.
Welch's, they're supposed to be non-artificial, so I call bullshit.
How do you know?
Because it's 4 kids, right? Welch's things. Welch.
I guess, but I didn't know that meant that they were not artificial.
I feel like they advertise something like that. Apple juice, maybe? Moving on. Today we have one main topic that we're going to kind of talk about, which is funny. I'm excited about that.
We'll get there.
We will get
there. Do you know what I hate?
Jojo Siwa. Because I do.
Why do you hate her? Because she wants to have kids? She wants to name them Teddy, Eddie, and Freddie? Is that why you hate her?
That is
foul.
Foul. That's one of the things.
Please.
But I mostly hate her because of the way that she acts since she came out as gay or whatever. Which I have no problem with that. But she's trying so hard.
Her social media has been wild.
It is. But for the last few years, not even just recently when she's doing the music stuff.
Recently is when it got really bad for me.
Oh my God, it's horrible. I can't stand her shit. The one video of her saying It was a TikTok where she had the arm sleeve. And she was like, what is the one like phone call or whatever that you would make to heaven? Have you seen that one? And she's like, so not serious. I have to pull it up. But like, she's like, not serious at all. But like, what is the one phone call that you would make to heaven? And oh my God, it was absolutely cringe. I can't. I'm going to show you right now.
I just saw the TikTok about her saying she can't wait to have her kids, Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy, and be cutting them up berries in the kitchen.
Berries?
Yeah.
You don't cut up berries.
I know! The comments were like, there's only one berry you can cut.
Strawberry, and that's it.
Dude, it was
Maybe that's what she meant. She couldn't think of strawberries.
I don't know if she's being serious about naming her kids that, but it's horrible.
Why would she make that joke and say it so serious, though?
No, like, I think she's being serious. I just don't understand why she would name them that.
Oh, like, of all the things that you could...
Right.
That's what you choose?
Yes.
Okay, I have to show you the TikTok now. Okay. Oh, here. I got a question.
If you could have one heaven phone call, this is a random heaven phone call, okay? Nothing too serious. If it was serious, I'd call grandma, grandpa, uncle I never got to meet, someone like that. Unserious heaven phone call. Who are you calling? Personally, I'm calling the people in the Titanic submarine. The situation, the submersible, that whole thing. I'm calling them. My friend said she would call John Benet Ramsey. I feel like that's a pretty good one. Who are you calling? What are we asking? Give me your take on this.
It's the outfit, the glasses, the hair, the chain, the sleeve of tattoos that are fake. And the way she's standing, trying to act all mask. I can't take it. That video stepped over a lot of lines for me.
What did she say she would call?
The submarine, the Titanic submarine.
What is the Titanic? Oh,
the one that like imploded or whatever.
Bitch, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, valid phone call. Okay, but at the same time,
I was like, the Titanic was a ship, not a submarine.
You were like, bitch, you dumb.
A little bit.
No, but for real, that video like makes me just feral. Absolutely feral. I can't take it. Who are you gonna say that you hated?
It wasn't a person.
Oh.
It was just something that I hate.
What do you hate?
This is so niche. So, you know when you're getting off on an exit on the highway, and the car in front of you is also getting off, and they, signal, like they're getting off, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, a really long exit ramp.
Huge.
And they don't turn off their blinker the whole time.
Yeah. That pisses you off.
Yes. Because it's like, I always turn mine off and then turn it back on when I get up to the front.
I do too.
Especially if it's a long one. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't know why.
It's like, okay, we know. We got it.
We know you're turning.
We understand. Well, that's why sometimes, like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like, you're, like, turning on your blinker, like, in a turning lane. And I'm like, well, where else would you be going?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like that one by my house, the one that's only you turn right.
Yeah. It's like if you're
I never put on my blinker in that lane because it's a right turn only lane, so of course you're turning right.
Right, like what do you think I'm gonna do? Go left?
Right.
Straight?
There's no way.
Reverse?
There's no way.
You can't. It's just foul to me. But at the same time, I get it, traffic laws, But like,
well, like at a light, it's fine. But like in some circumstances, it's like duh. Yeah. Or when people put on their freaking blinker for a roundabout.
Oh, roundabout blinkers. That'll send me.
People don't know how to drive in roundabouts.
Nope, nobody. I love roundabouts. They're
too.
so efficient for traffic. I love them, and they're fun to drive through. I mean, there's nothing that I don't like about them except for the people that don't know how to drive through them. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it shitty. Mm-hmm. But you know what else I hate about off-ramps? Is when people slow down so much before they're even on the off-ramp to, like, 55. And then they go, like, 20 the rest of the way. I'm like, you had all this space to slow down. You're not supposed to start slowing down on the highway.
No, or
like at all.
When people don't speed up to get on the highway.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
They're going like 40. I'm like,
when they're like literally
and there's like semis in the right lane. Like, yeah. I'm like, you gotta pick it up.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm stuck. And like, semis, if they can't get over, they can't get over. Because that's not their problem. That's the other cars that won't give them space to move over if, like, you're trying to get on. So then you just have to sometimes, like, slow down.
Yeah. And, like,
all the way to, like, 30 and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, just to get on, I mean, like, behind a semi. Mm-hmm. Which is nuts.
It's true.
There was this one night I was getting on the freeway. And it was like pouring rain and at night, pitch black outside. And I hate driving in that specific weather because like the rain reflects all the car lights and it's just scary. You know what I mean? I hate it. I would rather drive in snow, personally.
That's what I said the other day, too.
Yeah.
I'd rather drive in snow than rain.
Right, because if the rain's coming down hard,
it's so hard to
your
see.
windshield wipers can't keep up.
You can't see anything. And then, like, if you're behind, like, a semi or, like, next to one, they just spray water at you.
If you're, like, right, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. But, like, I was getting on, and I could see that there was a car coming up in the right lane. No cars in the left lane. And I had my left blinker on, and I was speeding up like you would to, like, get on the highway. And finally, I'm like, God, I can't even see this car. But I'm, like, at the point of, like, the on-ramp where you're literally about to get in. And I look in my blind spot, and they're literally right next to me. I had to slam on my brakes because they wouldn't get over for me. And I honked at them, and they came to a complete stop on the highway to let me on. Keep driving.
Right,
I'll
they just get out of my way.
Behind you.
Right.
It was the dumbest encounter I've ever had. How are you going to come to a complete stop on a highway? It had to have been an old guy or something because...
Like the old guy I honked at yesterday.
Yeah, but that was not... That wasn't valid. I was going to tell that story. The one time you use your horn. The one time. It's like definitely not.
Dude, oh my gosh. I was sitting at a light waiting to turn left. And the light turned green. And for some fucking reason, I was thinking I was the only person who had the right of way because the cars coming at me when the light turned green were not slowing down to my green light.
Yeah.
And I'm
what's
like,
up with that?
I'm like, you're like, what? They're gonna run a red light. That's what I was thinking. So I like start turning because I'm like, oh, they must be stopping.
Right.
Why would they? It's green both ways, not just one.
And I thought that traffic laws only like existed for her.
I don't know what I was thinking. And then I start turning, and this like car is coming right at me, and I'm like, are you kidding? I slam on my horn. And then I like, he looked at me like so confused. It was an old couple.
They were probably talking so much shit all day about
he was
you.
like this. And I was like,
oh.
Why did I? It wasn't a green arrow.
No.
There's a difference.
Very big. Very big.
And then I just sat there contemplating. I was like, ooh, that's so embarrassing.
I get it.
So embarrassing.
But the nice part about something like that happening is that you know you'll never see them again.
Right, that's true.
But at the same time, you just honked at an old man for driving.
I have a pretty significant car, so if they ever see it again, they're gonna be like, oh, "There's that dumb bitch."
Yeah, your car is crazy, but soon it'll be Rio's. Can we talk about the way that his head is laying on your foot?
Yeah, he's cutie.
That's adorable. He's like, okay, nice pillow. Loving it.
Do you remember that lady on TikTok who would eat chicken cutlets with mustard and barbecue sauce?
No, I don't.
She would always have late night snacks, and she would go down to her kitchen.
Yeah.
And she would eat chicken cutlets.
You calling it a chicken cutlet's
It
crazy.
is. It is, bitch.
I know, but
call it.
it's just the name of it, and I don't think I've ever been on chicken cutlet with mustard and barbecue sauce TikTok. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Her name was like Auntie something.
Of course it was.
She was like from New Jersey or some shit.
That makes sense.
She was. I miss her. I wonder where she's at. That's why I was asking. But
like, where is she today? I don't know.
Pause. I'm gonna find it.
Okay.
Aunt Amanda, bitch.
Aunt Amanda.
Reported video. TikTok's has a filter on it. What is that? Anywho, we're doing chicken cutlets for dinner tonight. I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese and mozzarella, and we're topping it off with some mustard. So we went to go see Christmas lights before, and let me tell you, Staten Island really outdid themselves this year. The last 2 years was very gloom and doom, understandably.
Gloom and doom? Understandably.
That's a lot of mustard.
Go, mama.
There's like so much mustard.
So, we gotta put our barbecue sauce on here.
I love that.
Yeah, she's a queen.
That is really something. I can say that for sure.
Do you have a story to tell?
I do. Thank you for diving right into that. Okay. One of the little themes of today is going to be talking about past relationships because we have plenty more stories like those to come. Like I said, like, I don't know when it was, a couple episodes ago maybe, I am, like, currently on Hinge or whatever. And
that was last episode.
Was it? Okay. So much has happened since then. Anyway, on Hinge, you know, you can see, like, the people that like your profile or, like, your photo or something, instead of, like, having to scroll through, like, on Tinder or whatever, and then only if you like somebody, then it matches. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then this way, like, you don't have to look through just a bunch of people and then risk, like, not getting a match or whatever. It's like you just look through people that have already previously shown interest in your profile. And I'm scrolling through those, right? And I come across a profile under the name, he likes my profile. Bold move. You can like send it.
Hey, because of the story. I'm trying to hype you up. Come on, babe.
Okay, I'm getting there. He sends me a message and says, should we run it back? Ha ha. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, huh? Because now I'm going to tell the story of it, but knowing everything that unfolded the first time him and I, like, talked is foul to say something like that.
Can I see his Hinge profile?
Yeah.
I want to see what he looks like because I don't know.
So, a friend set us up. This was in 2020. And I love her. She's great. But, like, her boyfriend, I'm pretty sure, was good friends with at the time, at least. He and I meet up. We drive and we go where we're going to hike, which luckily for me, this isn't, I mean, it's a red flag, but at the same time, like, we went somewhere that's, like, very out in the open. It's just, like, little small trails. Like, it's nothing crazy, like, hidden where I could get murdered. But anyway, we stopped at Pick and Save. We got sushi and thinking. That was his thinking face.
This profile sucks. Mm-hmm. Is this a photo of him? He looks...
Like, why?
He doesn't have any, like, decent, like, normal photos of his face.
Not a single one. I know.
Okay. He's into monogamy, though, so that's a green flag.
Green flag. But anyways, we got sushi, we went hiking, and then we, like, walked a couple trails and just were, like, talking, like, you know, getting to know each other, whatever. He was in track, I ran track, so, like, then we just had something to talk about. And he was like, oh, I'm pretty sure, like, I've seen you, like, a couple times, like, at events and whatever. And we're like, you know, the conversations weren't...
You're like, yeah, you saw me slaying the high jump?
No, literally.
That was me.
The conversations weren't bad, but he gave me a couple red flags while we were talking, right? And a couple of them was, like, him comparing me to this one girl that he went to school with, saying, you actually look a lot like so-and-so. And I knew who she was because I used to jump against her in track. And I was like... oh, like, okay, I don't see it, but okay. And then he was talking then about how hot she was. Weird. Very, very weird. And then we go back to the car, and we're eating lunch in the car with the windows down, playing some music, whatever. And he starts correcting the way that I'm using my chopsticks. Okay? He's like, no, that's, like, not how you do it. You don't hold them like that, blah, blah, blah. And then would, like, show me and then, like, literally make me eat a few pieces to, like, make sure that I was doing it right. Very weird. And then he went, do you know what the ginger is used for? I said, what now? You know, it's actually used to cleanse your palate. And I went, whatever,
oh,
man.
Thank you.
Like, sorry.
Everybody knows that.
I was like, well, I don't think that I knew that. But, well, so. I don't think that.
Cut that. You knew it. You knew what that meant. You knew it.
That is crazy. Cut that. You knew. You knew. But no, I didn't know. But either way, I didn't fucking care. Mm-hmm. I was like, shut the fuck up and eat your sushi. Jesus. Like, I swear he's like had one bite at this point, and all he's doing is correcting the way that I'm eating mine. Call me fat one more time. You know what I mean? And then, anyway, we start driving back, and in the car, he would like ask me, oh, what's your favorite song? And I would tell him, you know, and this part. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I Shine Bright Like a Diamond by Rihanna.
No, literally. I'm gonna have you
What did
read.
you say your favorite song was?
I don't remember. It was just because we both at the time liked country music. Like that was something that we both liked. And so then, is that one of the things on his profile?
No.
Oh.
No.
On the bottom, sometimes it says like what kind of artists they listen to. But no, I don't remember. And it was probably some Kelsey Ballerini shit, if I'm being so real. And so then he would like play that song. And then there was like silence. Like he wouldn't talk to me while my favorite song was playing. He would not. Bro. At all. And so what am I supposed to do other than look out the window and maybe hum a couple bars? Okay.
Right. You'd be humming.
Anytime he heard me make the slightest bit of like noise in terms of singing along, humming, whatever, he would like crank the radio down on me. Like he was expecting me to continue singing. Like he was trying to like catch me off guard and hear me sing. Read on that profile what one of his things that he finds unusually attractive in people is.
Girls that can sing.
Girls that can sing. I see that on his profile. I said, shut the fuck up. This is crazy. And then, what's the only other thing in text on his profile? Read it.
Being thoughtful? No. What if I told you I play guitar and piano?
Yes. What if
he told you that?
What if?
What would you do? Literally, what would you do?
I don't know. You know what I did? I blocked his ass. But anyway, we get back from the state. I'm like, okay, like, that was weird, but nice guy, just not in the mood. You know, like, he invites himself into my house.
This one?
Yup.
Why did I say this one?
Like, yeah, what other one? But, and invites himself to have dinner with me and my parents. My parents and I are like looking at each other over this table of lasagna.
No, I love lasagna.
My dad's making lasagna tonight. I'm serious. He makes really good lasagna. Like the best. So if you want to come back later.
Can I come back and pick some up?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. I will. All right, continue.
Anyways, we're all like kind of eyeing each other up like, this is so fucking awkward. We were just trying to have like a family dinner.
Yeah.
And so my dad's like trying to be nice and asking Brayden some questions, you know, get to know the kid. He is a saint. My mom's like this the whole time, like growling.
She would.
Like eye twitch. Like,
she would, but in that instance, I think it's fair.
It was very fair. And I was like, this is a horrible, I hate it.
So like, did you guys drive back to your house together or separate?
Together.
So he came to like drop you off?
Drop me off and then came inside. He like turned the car off and started getting out and I was like, what's going on? Like I didn't know.
You thought you were free.
I thought I was home free. And
to go inside and eat some lasagna.
Yeah, with peacefully. My family and talk shit about the date. And then I couldn't. And at this time, like I was still like 17 because
I think to start a band with you.
I think
You ever hear seeing Zach Bryan together?
No, it was probably just scouting out.
I remember everything.
I thought you were gonna say, I remember when. I remember when I was.
CeeLo Green?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, maybe he was just scouting out singers for his band.
That's like when me and Adam Lee pretended we were making a girl group called Friday Night Fun, and we would go out to the bar and walk up to random girls and try and recruit them
like 6 people
to be part of our girl group that we were managing. And Adam was gonna do like the choreography. It was like the Spice Girls, but it was called Friday Night Fun. And
Friday Night Fun is
we had girls genuinely thinking that we were going to put them in a girl group. We would make them sing, bitch. We would go, can you one of them was like, I can do Rihanna. And we were like, okay, do it. And like, let's see.
She started singing.
I don't know what her name was, but she was so sweet. All these girls were so nice. And she was like, I can do an aerial.
Dude, the
and
aerial.
Adam was like,
the aerial. No, an aerial's crazy.
Oh my God.
She said, you guys want to see it? You guys want to see it?
I hope Adam's watching this because that is so funny that we did
Adam's
that.
going to watch this and he's going to cackle.
I think we were almost this close to literally doing it too.
Oh,
like,
well, you already at that point recruited 6 girls.
literally.
You probably would have had to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Anyways, continue.
No, that's totally fine. That was hilarious. So anyway, he ends up leaving, long story short. He proceeds to FaceTime me that night when I'm sleeping. 40 times. 40, baby. 40. I think there's a first few that woke me up and I was like trying just to go back to sleep.
Because you're like, I'm not answering that.
Well, because it was like at that point I already had like 10 missed calls. Like, why are you calling me? And so then I texted him.
What do you possibly need? You've only met me once.
Right. And then I had texted him and I was like, fuck off, I'm trying to sleep. You know what I mean? And he didn't like that. And so he just kept calling me and he would just say like, answer, and stuff like that. Come to find out he was drunk in his parents' basement, FaceTiming me, calling me, whatever. I wouldn't fucking answer. I ended up turning my phone off.
Fair.
Because I was like, I'm done. And the next morning I wake up, I turn it back on, and I have like more missed calls from him, of course, and then a couple missed calls from my friend who introduced the two of us. And so I text her and I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, what happened yesterday? Like, are you fine? Like, he called me last night and was like really drunk and was like talking about whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, yesterday, like, there was nothing bad that happened necessarily.
It
like,
just
at
was
this
like a little
rate.
bit weird.
Right. And so I had nothing bad to say about him, really. Mm-hmm. And so then I was just like, no, like, everything was fine. And she was like, okay, like, just keep me, you know, in the loop here, because she was like, he just called me and didn't seem like, okay.
Your friend better feel damn bad.
Oh, she felt terrible. She apologized to me.
Good.
And is no longer even friends with him, which I think I said already. But, I mean, now I don't know. But, like, at the time, I know for a fact that after
what friend was it? You can bleep it.
Her name is I don't
Oh, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Okay. So then I ended up texting him only a few times the next day, because then I got really creeped out because I did finally answer one of his FaceTime calls. Bro. And, well, because
it's just you in the morning.
No, it was like literally. And you know how I look in the mornings, not pretty.
Beautiful.
And
10. No, you look
10
so
out of 10
good in the mornings.
Don't lie to my face.
Every single morning, you look like a baby that was just born. Because you do. You're like this.
My eyes in the morning are crazy.
Like, every time you open your eyes in the morning, it looks like it's the first sight you've ever seen in your whole life.
That's crazy. That's great. But it's true. Absolutely, it's true. Anyway, so I finally answered one of his phone calls, and we're talking for like a little bit. I only talked to him for like not even an hour.
Was it not even awkward? Because you're like, okay, he FaceTimed me 40 times, and now I answer, and he's just like, hey, what's up?
It was like, no, because he moved on. He moved on so fast.
Like, I just don't like that.
No, I don't know. And it was, we were talking and it was fine, but I think it's only because like I chose to not bring it up.
What year was this? Like what, 2020?
2020, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like 4 years ago.
The beginning of that summer, like probably late spring.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And it was just, him and I would like talk a little bit, and he started to say some weird shit on the fucking phone call that I finally answered. And he was like, oh yeah, like, my parents like found out where I was yesterday, LOL. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they didn't know? And he was like, no, I didn't tell anybody that I was like going on a date. And I said, well, that's kind of weird, but like up to you, you know, not my problem. And he's like, yeah, they were like checking my location, and then they did a bunch of research on your family. Because on Google,
a bunch of research is
he literally goes, and I told him nothing, know anything about my parents and where they worked and anything like that.
Yeah,
I didn't bring that stuff up on our date. I know for a fact because we just talked about each other, and that was it. You know what I mean? He goes, oh yeah, like they told me when I got home that, oh, we know you were at the farm, and like because on Google Maps our farm
say the Which is kind of iconic. Like, yes.
It is really iconic. But then they were like, and I know that he's a shop teacher at school, and her mom works at the clinic and blah, 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 and she's a nurse practitioner, and she went back to school, like, blah, 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 years ago, and got, you know, her bachelor's, and blah, 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 and, like, was, like, saying all of this shit about my fucking family. I'm like, that's your parents? Your parents?
That is really, really crossing so many lines.
So many boundaries. And why are you telling me this confidently? Like, this is funny.
Like, you're gonna go, oh my God, that's actually so... Facts. I love that you know all those things about my family.
Right. It's so...
After forcing yourself into my home and eating all my lasagna.
It's true, he did. But it was just the creepiest thing in the world, honestly, too, just to then think, like, how easy it is for somebody to find all that stuff out just because it says farm on Google search. If they wanted to, they would, I guess.
If I went somewhere without telling my parents, I don't think they would do that.
It's okay to look where they are, but don't be going in and, like, doing all this research and then bragging about all the research that you did.
Yeah.
Like,
my parents just don't care.
Your parents don't. And they're just so chill, and I love that about them. But
I mean, they care, obviously, but, like, they're not,
parents,
like, crazy.
It was wild to me. And in that moment, I was like, I actually have to go.
Yeah.
And ended the call. And he called me probably 6 more times throughout the day. Like, it's like, do you have nothing going on?
He had nothing going on.
Long story short, I end up getting so fed up with this man because I'm like, red flag after red flag after red flag, constant fucking phone calls. I can't even sleep at night. I'm trying to keep my phone on silent, but it still, like, buzzes and shit. Like, I can't do this, you know? Yeah. So I block his ass.
As you should.
I told him, I said, I'm fucking done with you, and I blocked him on everything. That night, I get a FaceTime call from my girl, the one that introduced us.
Your girly.
Yeah.
Hey, girl. I get a FaceTime from
Yeah, and she's like, Mo? And I said, uh-huh. She goes, I need you to do me a big favor. Regardless. She goes, I need you to unblock. Please we'll hop on a group call, but I just need you to talk to him for even, like, 5 minutes.
And how long had you been talking to him at this point?
A week.
Okay. Okay.
Like, so much unfolded in that time.
Yeah.
I said, I refuse. I said, okay, fine. So we hop on a group call. I unblock him. He starts talking like everything's fine. Nothing happened.
Hey, Mo, unblock me, baby.
No, like, literally, like, oh my God, how are you? Like, I really missed you today. Blah, 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 blah. Like, literally in the best mood ever.
Because he was lying when he said,
yes, I know.
To get you to, yeah.
I ended up leaving the call. I was fucking done.
Yeah.
How many more calls do I get from him? Like 12.
Duh.
And I'm about to, like, go block him again. And texted me and goes, like, I am so sorry. I don't even know what's going on right now. She's like, I'm so confused. Like, I thought this guy was, like, chill. Like, I don't know. Like, she's confused. She feels bad. I get a FaceTime call, group call. Guess who's in it? Me. And I'm going to bleep it. Oh, and I'm like, huh? Because at this point I knew. Is the guy, by the way, last episode who met me on the side of the road at
her spot.
Rocky Road, you know,
at my spot.
At her spot. I answered this FaceTime call, and me and immediately made eye contact because we answered at the exact same time. We were like this. Because at this point we haven't spoken in like over a year. And I see face, and I'm like, and he has a guitar in hand. I hopped off the call so fast.
Yeah.
Blocked right away. Call I FaceTime just because I'm like, we need to get to the bottom of this, and I know we haven't spoken in over a year, but we're talking. And he answers the call and he goes, Mo, what the fuck is going on? And I said, I was going to ask you the same thing. So anyway, that's what happened. And moral of the story, he had the audacity to say, run it back. Run it back.
Run it back, or...
He literally said, run it back, or read the texts.
I am.
Okay.
Mo, which I crafted this text. Absolutely not. You're clinically insane. Thanks, though. Valid response.
It's true.
He goes, fair, I was in a pretty bad spot. Sorry about that. I feel bad. I enjoyed talking to you, though. I thought you were really nice. You thought you were really nice.
I was so nice.
The nicest.
That he had to write a song about me.
2 days later, Mo didn't respond. So Mark's this weekend, then?
Bold!
Yes, let me check my sketch. I think
I could fit in some margs this weekend with you.
I just need to say that I was
Perhaps.
looking on your Hinge, and there's another hockey player from Marion in your DMs.
I know.
Named Sheldon.
I know. And he messaged
If my
me.
name was Sheldon, I would totally go by a nickname.
He had a mustache, though. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good mustache. I saw it.
Yeah, it was a good mustache.
I just scrolled and I saw Marion, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. What? Are we doing the thing? Let's do the thing.
Okay.
Should we do the thing?
Yeah.
You ready to do the thing?
I've been ready, yeah.
I'm so excited. Let me grab my mimosa. Don't say it.
I didn't.
Short arms.
You said it.
Yeah, but you were thinking
I
it.
wasn't.
She's a liar. Okay. We saw this TikTok of these two girls that were doing, it's like things he did or said or whatever, and I stayed, about their last like relationships. And so we thought that would really fit the topic of this podcast. So we both crafted up our own lists, and we are going to go through them now.
Side note, mine also includes things my very close friends did to me, and I was like, okay,
That's
love you,
crazy.
girl. Thank you.
Yeah. Mine are all exes, but one out of all of these is just my high school ex. But the rest are my ex-ex.
Ready Demon? Mm-hmm. I love Ready Demon. Just kidding.
She likes the stories from Ratty D.
No hate. I think me personally,
Yeah.
once I get these out there, I'm like, all right,
Good.
no hard feelings.
Gone. That's
Been
amazing.
working on forgiveness.
I haven't. So,
I know, it's okay.
uh,
Yeah, all right. So
would you like to go first, or should I start it off with an easy one?
you can start off with the easy one if you want.
Okay. The topic now is things our exes did and we stayed. 1. Bought a machete at my regular's garage sale. And I stayed.
Was it Bruce's garage sale? The literal fact that you were at his garage sale is horrendous to me. Because why don't you tell them what he said about us? And then you're like, oh my God, you're having a garage sale? I'll pull up.
He said that after the garage sale.
Still.
Well after. Bruce, our regular Bruce.
He sounds exactly like this. Or he looks exactly like this. Bruce.
He does. He looks just like that.
Like a Bruce.
Bruce. Bruce, if you will. Anyway, Bruce said one day to our old regular Wayne, who, hard of hearing, hard of seeing, hard of everything, has no teeth left, one snaggle, if you will. He's just like 92. Like
Old.
He's old. Should kick the bucket pretty soon. But I walk into work. And everybody there thought me and Hannah were twins. They would always mix us up, especially Wayne, because Wayne, like I said, deaf, blind, all of the above. I mean, he's the modern day Helen Keller, if you will. And I just got to work. I haven't even taken off my sweatshirt yet, put my purse into the cabinet, and I hear Wayne go, "Is that Hannah or Mo?" And Bruce leans over, thinking he's being discreet.
Bruce has a loud voice. Even when
Carries.
he's whispering, you can hear him across.
Because he's a very low voice, so it just kind of carries. And he goes, "We'll wait till she takes off her sweatshirt and then we'll know." And Wayne, and I knew what he meant, right? Wayne, dumbass. He didn't. He goes, "Well, why?"
like, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you.
He's the not the villain, but the king in this story.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
He didn't take it there.
And Bruce goes, I look at him, and I see him go, "Because of their tits." I said,
Brucey, Brucey.
Learn when to
We were
shut
both
your mouth. Learn.
20 at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And this man is, he turned 77 last week, so he was 76, 75.
Older than my grandma.
You can't be saying that.
Foul.
You can't. And I'm actually just going to say one of the things on my list because it really goes along with what you just said. And it's not really something one of my friends did, but it's just something that I think is funny.
Yeah.
My freshman year of college, I was absolutely off the charts with I was not so doing everything I possibly could. But whatever.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
I had this guy that I was really good friends with, kinda, whatever. And we had a little crush on each other, but we were friends and yeah.
Okay.
And this other girl who lived on my floor, or no, she didn't live on my floor. She lived in my building, but she lived on a different floor. I knew who she was and she knew who I was, but we weren't friends, but we weren't not friends. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
But she did not like me because she liked this guy who liked me.
Ooh, yeah.
And I didn't care even that he would if he would talk to another girl. We weren't exclusive.
It wasn't like that, yeah.
We were not exclusive at all. And I heard through the grapevine, through mutual friends of ours, because we did have a lot of mutual friends, that she would always say that bitch Hannah needs to stay away from my men. And she called me that bitch with no boobs. Needs to stay away from my men. And I'm like, okay, Pookie, because this girl's got big titties, okay? Pookie, if I can get your man with no boobs, that's your problem. And
with no boobs.
I'm sorry. The men that she would mess around with, I knew them too, and they would tell me how crazy she was, and that she would invite them over to her dorm and just yell at them and be mean to them the entire time they were hanging out.
Is that her version of flirting?
Yes.
Ew.
Bleep that. They told me that.
I will.
She invited him over, or he something, and she just was so mean to him that he left.
And that's your man?
It wasn't her man, and also wasn't my man.
She thought that was her man.
Yes, but I was
Foul.
And then she would meet me and she'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm like, girl." Anyways, that was one of the ones on my list I just had to bring up.
That was a good transition.
I loved being known as the bitch with no boobs because she was just mad.
She was mad, but you know what?
It has nothing to do with boobs. Maybe stop being mean.
My boobs aren't the biggest in the world, but they're pretty big. And there's a lot of... I'm just saying, because it's not I can complain about, oh my god, they're so big. Girls that have back problems. That's not me, But I do wish that they were smaller so I could pull off the little baby tees. The way that you can. Do you know what I mean? A baby tee just doesn't sit the same on somebody with my chest.
I think it's still cute.
Well, yeah, but that's probably because it's just when you like what you don't have.
Yeah.
And I'm the same to you. So, anyway.
What's the next one on your list?
This one's foul. This one is one of the most foul ones on my list. If you are young, do not listen.
If you're ready, demon, listen up.
Facts. This is something that my ex said to me, and I stayed. He told me that I was, quote unquote, naughty and deserved to be punished while we did the deed after he had a mental breakdown over the weekend thinking that I was going to break up with him.
Because he meant that.
And he meant it. He
meant it.
It all he victimized himself. He was you were naughty. You were naughty. And then would choke and slap me. I was what?
Keep in mind, he verbally assaulted multiple of us, including me, including Adam Lee. Adam Lee is...
It was so, I just want to preface that weekend that he had that mental breakdown thinking that I was going to break up with him. It was so bad. We were all camping. This was the camping weekend.
So we're all stuck in this campground together, and we know that the vibes are bad because Ratty Demon is being a ratty demon.
Yeah, but I just want to say that how bad it was, to preface it. Me and Ratty Demon were in a tent outside of the camper because there weren't enough like room and beds for everybody that was there. And I mean, we managed to figure out the last night because it was pouring rain or whatever. But you, Adam, and I think Emma too, all pulled me aside into like the main room and were like, we don't want you sleeping in that tent with him tonight. We're scared for you. That's how bad this mental breakdown was and how bad he was yelling and just screaming at everybody there.
Everyone.
It was
I remember
horrendous.
he was outside the camper yelling at you, and I walked out and I like walked up to him and I was like, we need to like, I don't even think I said anything to him. I think I just tried to like pull you away from him so he would stop yelling at you. And he turns and he goes, and you, and he starts going off on me and I'm like,
it's laughable.
This is your fault. I'm
like, what do you mean?
And then he charged Adam Lee.
He did charge Adam. Adam was like, what the fuck's going on?
Adam was like,
it was
and
foul.
Adam had to sit there and calm him down while I took Mo away from the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Do you remember when Ratty Demon and Twinkle Toes burned my shish kebabs that I spent hours working on? And I was so pissed at them for like
yes, they're like,
days.
Man, we can cook the dinner.
And I was like,
and Mo prepped the shish kebabs and they fucking burned them. And she kept saying, you might want to check them. They like look like they're burning. And they were like, no.
They told me that I was delusional and stupid.
And then we had the driest,
I'm a woman,
driest
chicken,
shish kebabs.
And it could have been the best ever because I seasoned them. I marinated them so good. Anyways, what's your next one? Oh, I just want to say, I remember when I first told you about what I just said there, that little paragraph. Mm-hmm. That was so long after it had happened because I remember thinking, like, I was, like, ashamed that happened. I was, like, actually so uncomfortable and terrified. That was, like, very deep. But, like, I remember I wanted to tell you about it, but I couldn't. I couldn't get it out of my mouth to tell you because I was like, what is she going to think?
I hate him.
I hate him, too.
Always hated him.
Anyway. Your turn.
Okay. My high school ex-boyfriend, freshman year of high school, lied about having a kid, and I stayed. And I stayed for years.
With the college girl.
Yeah, with the college girl.
He was like 15.
Yeah, he was like, yeah,
happened
at a college party. I'm like,
what do you mean?
You're 14. You're 14.
You're at a college party, and you got with a college girl, you got her pregnant, you had a kid.
Yeah.
Where does it end?
It ended there because
literally
because the kid did not exist, and I remember the college girl's name was Natalia. Fucking lie.
What?
Lie.
No one's named Natalia.
Lie. I actually have a cousin named Natalia, but I just know that that's made up. I know it was made up because my ex-friend also knew about the kid who she's in here. Don't worry, girl, you're coming. She told him to like send a picture of his son. And
I remember I was
the son was like a couple months old. And he sent her a photo of himself as a baby, but he didn't realize like how kids look at certain ages because he sent her a photo of him like at like 2 years old and the baby was 4 months.
So foul.
Anyways, I stayed. And I never brought it back up ever again.
But how would you? Plus, I think that, like,
I did maybe once, and he was like, I don't want to talk about it. Because it was a lie.
Yeah, I'm going to transition into this because this is also the only one that I have about my high school ex. But I was going to say, I think when it's, like, your first boyfriend, you would do anything for that person just to be with them. Because you think that you're, like,
that man made me look like a fool over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like this. La, 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 la,
in your own little world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. But this is another story of a high school ex thing. And I stayed. I didn't just stay, but I begged. My high school ex told me, he told me that he didn't love me anymore at all and hadn't for the last 3 months. But I begged him to stay because I didn't want to be out a date to Winterfest. So he stayed for another 3 months.
Over the
then we broke
Winterfest,
up.
babe?
Over the Winterfest. Well, and I was just having a panic attack because I was in love with him.
That actually reminds me of something else my high school ex did to me.
What?
We broke up, and then I was like obsessed with the man for no reason because he had this many good qualities. Zero. Zilch. And
Nada.
it was like 2 weeks before homecoming, and we like started talking again,
Yeah.
and he asked me to homecoming, and then later I found out through texts that I found on his phone
God.
that his mom forced him to do it, and he didn't want anything to do with me because then he left me at the homecoming dance and broke up with me again at the homecoming dance. I was in the middle of the dance crying while everyone's doing their little slow dance with their boyfriend girlfriend, and I'm crying because he left me at the dance.
I don't remember. I don't think you ever told me about the mom part. But I knew about him leaving you at the dance, and I thought that that's what that story was going to be. But I never knew about the mom thing.
Well, same shit.
That is wild.
I don't really think his mom did that. I think he just said that.
Oh. I thought that you meant like you found like a text or something.
Not from his mom, but from him to somebody else.
I see.
This is also about him that I stayed. This man was wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, he was absolutely psychotic.
2 of my best friends sent him nudes while we were dating.
Naturally.
And I stayed. And when I confronted at least one of my friends about this, she told me...
That face is crazy.
She told me...
What'd she tell you, girl?
That he manipulated her into sending him nudes. Girls.
Gun
Now
your
girls.
ass. Send me nudes.
Girlies.
Send me nudes.
Girly poos. Let's not sit here and play that game. You're telling me over Snap he's like, how is he? Come on. And this was my best friend since kindergarten, mind you. She got manipulated. Oh,
manipulated.
She also was in love with him the entire time we were dating and never told me.
That little fatty.
Never told me, but when she did confess her sins.
It was in a book.
It was in a book that she sent me. And when I mean book, it's like that kind of text that you click to open. And it's scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Like, took her hours to write that and craft
it. And the whole thing
annotate,
was her
the whole
explaining every single thing that she did when she hung out with him behind my back, the way that she was in love with him before we even started dating, the way that... Oh, I remember I asked her what she thought about him before we started, like, while we were talking, and she was like, he's not good for you. Because she was in love with him. She was in love with him. She would call him, text him all the time, like, make him tell her things that he wouldn't even tell me. She would, like, trauma dumped on each other.
So she was trying to manipulate him, really. Mm-hmm. She wanted to send those nudes.
Yes.
Absolutely she did.
Absolutely she did. Absolutely she did.
I'll cut this, but she couldn't send a photo of her.
I'm sure she did, though. I think, like, it was, like...
You know what? Maybe I won't cut that. Unless you tell me to.
We'll cut it.
Okay.
But once she, like, confessed everything to me,
Yeah.
I remember being obviously really mad, right?
Duh.
And she was like, well, you're not even mad at him. I was mad at him.
Well,
But she was like, you're putting it all on me. Babe, you've been my best friend for, like, 12 years. I think you have a little bit more responsibility to me than this man.
Baby.
No
one can manipulate you to send nudes.
No, and then another one of my
sorry.
friends
It's all
also
on you.
did. He told me that she sent him nudes.
Yes.
Unsolicited nudes. Lie. Like, I know you asked for them, but, like, she didn't have to send them.
Right.
Because no girl in their right mind is just sending nudes, like,
just don't
randomly to their
understand.
friends' boyfriends.
Knowing what she looks like, I don't understand how any guy could ask her for nudes.
And
be
the other
like,
friend, I never
perfect.
even
Love
confronted
that
her about
idea.
it. I just let it go, and I was still friends with her. So that's what happened, and I stayed with those friends and my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. That is just insane.
Another
Just wild.
addition is a couple years later when we were in college. My friend who was in love with him, years later when I had broken up with him, or actually, he broke up with me.
Oh. Yeah. So sorry.
Like 3 times. So this
Sorry
is the third and
about that
final
trauma.
time.
Yeah.
Third and final time.
Yeah.
The next year we were freshmen in college, and I was still friends with her. Mm-hmm. But I was already kind of, like, over her shit. Because she would also,
Naturally.
like, pull the most wild things
She was a crazy gal.
in the
I'll say
universe.
that.
She
Yeah.
was dating one of my other friends, and, like, their relationship was so shit. Like, every single time we would hang out with them, they would get in a huge fight about something.
It's because of her, though. She was just psycho.
She was
and
always doing
he's so nice.
So much. She was doing so much.
Too much.
And she sits me down, and she goes, so for one of my college classes, we had to write a short story.
This is insane.
And I'm like, okay. And she goes, and I wrote the story about the situation about her being in love with my boyfriend.
Right.
And I'm like, okay.
Because, like, odd topic.
Find out about her. She loves to write
take.
stories. When we were growing up, she would always write books. And then, like, she would read them to me.
She's weird.
Like, chapter books. So I know this girl can write a story, okay? Moral.
She has experience with writing a story.
She's a story writer. An author, if you will.
Yeah. Hey, can you take off your socks?
No. She sits me down and she reads me the story she wrote.
Uh-huh.
And she changes all of our names just slightly. I don't know what her name was.
Your name was Hallie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hallie.
Real creative.
And she's like, the story was like, I just couldn't believe I was doing this to my best friend, Hallie. I couldn't stop, but I knew I needed to stop. It was just, and I'm like, and she's reading it to me, and I'm like this. Love it. Love the story. Love
really
the
great detail.
Love the motifs and the climax of the story. Like, bitch.
No, I can't.
She was something truly else, and
crazy.
I am no longer friends with her, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a great thing.
I'm gonna second that. I agree. That is a good thing.
Okay, your turn.
He would only play rap music in the car, no matter what, no matter who was driving, whatever, and then would continue to scream at me and give me the silent treatment for not singing along.
To the rap that you didn't know?
Mm-hmm. That is correct. He would literally give me this silent treatment for hours. Or just be like so shorthanded with me, you know what I mean?
What do you mean though? Like,
because he was like, why don't you ever sing in the car? And he would get pissed about it. He would get so mad about me never singing.
Is that Ratty Demon?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm. It was absolutely terrible. I was like, because I don't know the song, and I would tell him that. I was like, I don't know this song. I don't listen to this music.
No.
Like, you do. And he would never let me play my music.
No.
Ever. And when I would, then I would, like, sing along, but he would yell at me for it not being loud enough. It was like giving Brayden. I was like, what is this?
Why do men want you to sing?
I don't know. I guess
it's really, really, really weird of men.
Stop
doing that.
Stop it.
It's weird.
Cut the shit. Don't do it.
It's so weird.
Disgusting, if you will.
This is my last one about my high school ex.
Okay.
He had a lot of friends that were girls that didn't really like me for no reason, except for the fact that I was dating him, I'm pretty sure. And he's now dating one of them, which is the same girl he dated before we started dating.
Right.
So.
Okay. Okay.
Wishing them the best, I guess.
Yeah.
What else? I used to check his, like, Snapchat location, like, in the middle of the night, because I was like, I know this man is not at home, because he's
not.
Was, like, doing drugs, drinking every single day, like.
Foul, man. Always on some shit.
Yeah.
And never good stuff.
So I would check his location, and he would be at one of those random girls' houses in the middle of the night.
Duh.
Smoking weed with them.
Duh.
When we were 15.
As he should.
Literally as he should. And I would always, like, see their locations together, like, on days when I'd be home, and he would be, like, at his house, and I would see all those girls' locations at his house, too. And I was never invited.
They probably were, like, out there having orgies. Like, for sure.
Knowing those girls, absolutely.
He loved that.
He did.
That's actually really disgusting.
I know he cheated on me with at least one of them.
Right.
I don't know. And, like, the fact that the girl he's with now is like, my man. Babe.
Your man? Huh? Your man what?
He probably is not only your man. Never mind.
No, he's not.
Anyways.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. They always say that.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'm going to give another high school ex one while we're on this topic. This is a different high school ex of mine, not the one that I was with for 2 years that I begged to stay with me. So a different high school ex of mine lied about his dad having cancer to get out of bad grades and then blamed me for spreading that rumor when his parents found out.
His dad was alive and well, huh?
Alive and well. No cancer in sight.
Duh.
So.
Literally duh. The lies that men come up with,
I don't get it.
cray-cray.
It's so creative.
Very.
Overly creative.
They should like go to art school. Okay?
They should. I seriously feel like they need to be the ones writing books. Like, women shouldn't be writing books because at this rate, it should be men, but they should be like going off like based on a true story, but it was all a lie that they told when they were 19, 14. To preface the story, Hannah's ex used to have this theory that her and I were sleeping together and that we were lying to him. Like, he genuinely wouldn't believe us when we told him that we weren't. So then we started to make jokes about it a lot, right? Because we were like, what else are we supposed to do? And at the time, we were both with our toxic exes now.
They weren't funny to him.
No.
He didn't laugh.
I made a joke to my ex-boyfriend about us doing a 4-way. And he genuinely...
Red flag, my ex was down.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Oh my God, okay.
This is the worst part. Your ex was down.
He was.
My ex genuinely wanted to do a 3-way with me and Hannah, but said her boyfriend couldn't be there because it's gay. And I stayed.
He did. He was like, yeah, I will do it. Come on,
He was
let's
like,
do it
no,
right now.
but he can't be there. He can't be there.
I
know, but mine was like, no, he can't be there. Like, your boyfriend at the time.
And we were not being serious.
No.
But my boyfriend was like, yes, we could do it here.
Perfect. I actually have a location. He's like, I actually know a spot.
That's actually a good one.
And I stayed is crazy.
I have one about that lovely ex of mine.
Okay, perfect. Let's hear it.
So he played soccer.
Well, mine played volleyball, so.
That's better.
I know, but it's men's.
I like men's. It's fun to watch.
I'm cutting that because that pissed me off. Anyway.
Sorry. Are you still mad?
No, I'll move on.
Okay.
Okay.
So. Sorry.
You got it, girl.
Thank you.
You could do it.
He played college soccer, and his school was probably 45 minutes away from where I lived. So every time he would have a soccer game, I would go drive there and I would watch it. Mm-hmm. And then I would drive home. So it's like an hour and a half round trip. And I went to every single game that was at, like, every home game.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't really go to many of the away games because they were, like, far. Mm-hmm. But I would watch them on my phone. Right. And then also he had a game in where my parents live, which is an hour and a half away. Uh-huh. So I drove an hour and a half down to watch the game and then an hour and a half back up home. 3 hours round trip.
Very long.
Very long.
Long.
I did not miss a game if I could help it, right?
Right. She's dedicated.
I played volleyball. None of my games were close. So I'm like, okay, fair. Like, obviously you're not going to make it to many of my games. I had a game that was 20 minutes away from where he lived. 20 minutes. He told me he was going. I was like, this is great. He can finally see me play. I'm so excited. The game rolls around. He's not there. I'm like, well, he's probably just late.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's going to walk in any minute.
He must be here.
No, he never came.
He never
came. And I remember being like so angry.
Naturally.
And when I finally got my phone after the game, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Welcome back. It has now been like an hour and a half. We just had like the longest deal with the audio system, my computer that records. So it's been like an hour, if not more, since we recorded. And we're really tired now, so we're lounging. We're getting comf here. We're going to resume.
It's so physically painful to tell these stories thrice.
Well, we don't have to retell any of the ones that we already told, because I don't think it really cut off. I just want you to, like, pick up We only have a couple more to talk about, really. This is one that my ex did. Side note, this is Ready Demon, by the way. He went to college in Chicago area, and so he was like 3 hours away from me. School. The most ghetto school to exist ever. Foul. Anyway, he Snapchatted me and asked me to FaceTime. I proceeded to say, no, I'm with my friend Hannah. And so he followed it up with a photo of him laying on a girl's lap, her arm around him cuddled up to her, saying, that's all right. I have my girl Lila. And I stayed.
I love that story.
And I stayed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The very first time, I remember like when I went down to like visit him while he was at school, when I met her, I was like, I fucking hate this bitch. And he was like, no. Like,
her name's literally Lila.
Well, and
it's a thotty name.
I hate to say it, but she was actually very sweet. Okay? Like, none of this was her fault. But at the same time, as a girl, if I knew a guy friend of mine had a girlfriend and he was laying my head or his head on my lap, I would say, that's disrespectful as fuck. And so that's why I had no respect for her. Mm-hmm. Sweet girl. I'm not talking shit about her. But like at the same time, I kind of am, because that was disrespectful to me. And she chose to do nothing about that.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? That's okay. I have my girl Lila. What? What do you mean? Your girl Lila?
It's probably because he hated me.
Probably. Oh, he did. Absolutely. And you hated him too, but that was valid. I should have hated him sooner, but I mean, it was just a wild text.
Every time we would have to be in the same room, Mo would be like, you have to be nice. And I'd be like, no.
Well, you would say the same thing to me about times.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same as with me. I mean, Ready Demon.
It's okay. I'm going to like clip all that. Well,
me and Ready Demon were in the boxing ring 24/7.
Always.
And she stayed.
and she stayed. You guys were always going for each other's throats, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But at the same time, valid. Because the reason that I was going to put this one in here, but I can't, because this is actually the one that drew a line for me and I broke up with him. It was when...
Why can't you put it in here?
Because I didn't stay. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, you could still tell it.
I'm going to.
You could tell it because I don't have any more.
Okay, that's fine. He, obviously, like I said, went to school 3 hours away. He did go out with a bang, and that is for damn sure. This was around the time that I was, like, finishing up my schooling, and I had, like, it wasn't a very long school. It was just, like, a 1-year certification program, and that was it. But, like, around the end of it, it was all very, like, interactive. And so I was working with, like, an actual, like, small business, doing, like, marketing stuff, pretending like we're, like, a marketing agency. And I had my big presentation. I was the project manager of our agency or whatever. Yeah. And so I was the one that basically had to, like, lead this presentation and craft it up, whatever. And I had my presentation coming up. And that was, like, a big thing for me. I cared, you know. It was, like... This presentation, it was like an hour long. That's a long presentation. Like, this was going to be a really long class regardless. The following weekend, I think maybe it was like a week or two away, was Halloween. Him and I were trying to plan a time for me to drive 3 hours all the way down to his school.
Ratty.
Like,
school.
Yeah. Just to spend one night there so that him and I could do a duo costume and go out for Halloween, and then I was going to drive all the way back. Which, by the way, he never once offered himself to drive up, even though he didn't even have a job. All he had was school and going out and partying. And I was working at this time. Like, I had a job. I had my schooling. I mean, it's just like there was a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have any of that shit to worry about. So I was trying to get off of work and all that stuff. Regardless, it didn't end up happening. And I told him, I was like, because I was going to go down on like Thursday. Absolutely not. And you and me already had 2 costumes planned, Friday and Saturday night, because he never once told me that he was going to come up for Halloween, like the weekend of. So I was like, okay, if we go out, then I'm going to have to go down there on Thursday. No, by no means was it ever like a plan for Friday or Saturday. Like, that wasn't ever in the picture. And I ended up telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming down on Thursday. Like, I work, and there's no point, like, for me to try and pull some shit like that.
It's
3
not
hours
worth it to go down
whatsoever.
And wear some stupid costume.
Which he literally wanted to be Playboy Bunny and Hugh Hefner. I'm not driving down there for the most basic costume ever. I'm sorry.
That's so piggish.
I'm sorry.
That's actually really
He's just
predatory
misogynistic.
considering the story you told earlier.
Oh, absolutely.
Reddy Demon.
All he
I'm not
ever
going to
gave-
sit here and say, but he's close.
He's getting there. He will get there one day. If
He's
nobody.
on the up.
Yeah. If nobody like
His trajectory is
smacks
off the
this
charts.
man, oh my God. If nobody like punches him, like he is.
He's never been punched in before in his life.
He needs to be, seriously, multiple times over and over. Regardless, he tells me, FaceTimes me, whenever this was, okay? And he goes,
It was literally like Monday, and Halloween was Friday,
yes,
Saturday,
yes. And
or Tuesday. Maybe.
And I had
it was literally right before.
I had my presentation Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
And so he goes, hey, I'm coming up this weekend. Like, what costume should we do on Friday? Huh?
The thing about us is we plan our Halloween costumes November of the year before.
Like, right after Halloween's done, our costumes for the next year are planned already. Like, that's, like, how we work. Because we get so excited. And whatever.
We
I
put
mean,
a lot
that's
of
just,
thought.
that's us. And he knew that about me. Him and I had been together for a little over a year at that point. I mean, we broke up for a couple months, but regardless.
It's a whole other can of worms.
He knew, yeah, it is. I'm not opening that. But he knew me well enough to know these things. And he was just trying to, like...
And you probably had
it was
told
like-
them about your Halloween costumes
Yeah, multiple times.
for months and months beforehand.
It just felt like he was, like, trying to, like, get me to, like... They were, like, testing, like, my loyalty to him to see if I would, like, ditch a costume with the two of us. Because he hated you, and you knew that, and you knew... Or you hated him, and he knew that.
It was so awesome how much that man hated me.
Yeah. Awesome is
'Cause
one
he
way to put
hated
it.
me because I was your friend. Oh, wait. Okay, go.
Oh, wait. Wait. You can say whatever you have to say.
No, just finish.
Okay. Regardless, I on this phone call told him Hannah's in the room, but she's behind the camera. He can't tell that she's there.
I was
He
like, just
should've.
now.
She was like,
was like
nail
popcorn.
biting. Yeah, for real. And I said, I am not like I can't do a costume with you if you come up. So if you come up, that's fine, but you just have to do your own, like figure it out. I said I already have a costume, and it's not a trio; it's a duo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the one was a trio with Maddie, and that one we put a lot of money and time and effort into. And then the other one
right.
was literally Mr. Clean. Like, that was...
Yeah.
You can't just have
It
me
was
be
a-
one Mr. Clean.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
No.
Anyway, he proceeds to scream at me on FaceTime and yells at me first, just yelling at me for not ditching the costume and throwing a fucking fit, like a tantrum, like a little 5-year-old throwing like fists on the ground. Do you know what I mean? And then he goes, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Screaming it at me. It was insane. My jaw fell to the floor. I look up, Hannah's jaw had already been on the floor in the first shut up. And he said it, screamed it over the phone like 8 times. And I looked at him. I looked up at Hannah, jaw still to the floor. Looked back at the phone and I said, you don't talk to me like that. And I said, don't ever tell me to shut up again. And he like looks at me,
And he said it again.
moves the phone like away from his face, puts it like for like a minute, puts it back on his face, rolls his eyes, lets out a big old sigh and goes, shut up, and hangs up the phone on me. And I looked at Hannah and I immediately,
Ratty demon.
I don't even know why I cried. I think I was just so like frustrated and like pissed because in that moment I was like, yeah, he's gone. He's goner. I like knew. I was like, okay, now I have to break up with him and I have my presentation on Wednesday. Like, it was just this whole thing. And
Like, he couldn't have waited until... I'm just kidding.
yeah, and then I broke up with him, I think like the next day or something.
Can you tell them the story about when you told him that I was your best friend and he said, no, I'm your best friend?
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't remember exactly.
It was on FaceTime. I was in the room.
I know, but I just like don't remember like the context of everything. But Hannah was in my doorway. This is when I lived at the apartment. I'm on my bed, like on FaceTime with Reddy Demon, and Hannah was like kind of standing like in my doorway. And you came in to say something to me, knowing I was on FaceTime with him, and then you like walked out, and then you ended up coming back in later because you heard this conversation happening. But at the time, I had said something, whatever my response to you was when you asked me a question or whatever it was, I said something along the lines of, oh, she's my best friend. You know, because I think that Reddy Demon had made a comment about something, or he was like, what'd you say? Or like, you know what I mean? And I said, well, she's my best friend, you know, whatever. And he goes, excuse me? So serious.
Excuse me?
So serious.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
Excuse you
you're
what?
excused, Reddy.
Excuse you what?
I shortened it to ratty. That was funny. Anyway, he goes, I'm your best friend. And I went, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Breaking news.
Literally breaking news. And I'm like, no, she's my best friend. You're my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference. Like, I can have a best friend outside of my relationship. Like, it's like he didn't know that.
No, he knew that. He just didn't want you to.
He didn't want me to have, like, any friends.
Because I was the friend.
He wanted to, like, own me, possess me. Like, that was, like, literally, like, I honestly think that. Because he's so misogynistic. I've never met anybody so misogynistic in my life. And his dad's the same way.
And homophobic.
Oh, that too. That's why he charged Adam Lee.
When we were playing the game, like, who's most likely to or something?
Yeah.
And the question was, like, who's most likely to be homophobic? And me and Adam were reading the cards, and Adam goes, Ratty Demon.
Yeah.
And Ratty Demon literally goes...
He owned it.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. Which is crazy, by the way. I'm going to jump off of that one. He's on the men's volleyball team at this university that he goes to. The little shitty one. And men's volleyball, there's a lot of gay men on the team. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have no issue with that. They play great. They're all super nice. The ones that were on his team who I knew were gay, because some of them probably didn't know that they're gay. Let's be real.
Like him.
Like him. That's our theory. If you're watching this, yeah, we think that you're gay. And I got along with them probably the best out of everybody on the team. They were just really nice. The other ones were all just like really ghetto, and like I didn't want to deal with that shit. Anyway. One time, I'm on FaceTime with Ratty Demon. I call him. He answers. First off, his best friends on the team, after now claiming for so long that he's homophobic and owns it and loves that about himself, those are his best friends on the team. The ones that were gay. Mm-hmm. Good for you. I mean, I have no issue with that. But at the same time, if you're going to sit here and claim one week that you're the most homophobic person on the planet and that you love that about yourself, and then the next week you're going to go off to school 3 hours away and you can suddenly be yourself and you want to be friends with all these people. Like, if it was me, I have no issue with that. But him, to claim something like that and then go off and be that person? Really? On this FaceTime call, he answers the phone. Shirt off. The gay guys are massaging him. I said, what?
Ratty.
And there's nothing wrong with it. Literally at all. There's nothing wrong with the story except for the fact that he has always claimed and owned the fact that he's homophobic. That's what's wrong with everything else. You know what I mean?
He's claiming that.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went camping and me and Adam were recording ourselves dancing in the camper?
Yeah.
And you and Ratty Demon walk in, I think.
Yeah.
And you like walked by and Ratty Demon like said excuse me while we were dancing. And I looked at him. I was like,
that video is actually hilarious.
wait, can we find it?
Yeah, we need to find that video and put it in.
I think maybe Adam has it.
Adam totally has it. We're going to find it. Oh my God.
We'll blur your face, Ratty. Don't worry, but...
I ain't blurring shit. Just kidding.
Well, he won't be in it.
He's
just
not, like, in it. Oh, it did. It did. Right.
Okay, we got this now. Excuse me, a little intermission. Hop through. I'm sorry. That's not true. Not true.
Hey, Chappelle. It's just,
the Ratty Demon dynamic.
I hate him so much. The more that I thought about the relationship after we like ended things, I was like, wow. What the fuck? But he has me blocked on everything now anyway, so clearly the feeling is mutual.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too. Whatever. Screw you. I waved at your mom the other day. Your new dog's cute.
They're neighbors.
Yeah, we are neighbors. I didn't preface that. Yeah, she's really sweet. Sweet gal. Ugh. She was walking and I was like pulling in the driveway. Stopped at the mailbox. And they have a new puppy. Golden Retriever. Super cute. Adorable. Really quick, speaking of three-ways. I remember, this is going to be my final story. I remember when this was probably late 2020. So I'd freshly 18. I met all these people because at this time, 2020, I mean, there was like house parties, but they're, you know what I mean? Like, you don't go to the bar, you don't do any of that kind of stuff. It was all just random little parties and shindigs at like people's random like farmhouses in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, at least around here. And that's what we would always go to. And the only reason I would ever like know of these things is like people that I had met at the beach or whatever. And then they would be like, oh, you want to come? And I'd be like, yeah, I have nothing else going on. And I'm a loser. So of course I'll be there. And I started to like meet a bunch of random people. At this time, I think I probably had like 80 plus Snapchat notifications every single day. It was really stressful. Hated that point in my life. But I was like, nah, these are my friends. Like, bitch, no, they're not. But anyway, there was this girl and her friend that I met. And I'm not going to say names, but me and at the time I was really good friends with Josie. That name I will say. But her and I became good friends with these two other girls. And the four of us would hang out quite a bit. And the one girl, her apartment was in Oshkosh. And so we started going to her apartment sometimes and we would just hang out there, drink, whatever. I mean, we didn't ever go anywhere. It was always just like we stayed there and that was it, you know? And I met the one girl's boyfriend, okay? Super nice guy, whatever. Like, I never thought anything weird of the two of it. Or like the whole situation, like the two of them, I should say. Down the line, he messages me on Snapchat. I had no idea what this was going to be about. Him and I don't text. Like, I just have him on Snapchat because I'm friends with his girlfriend. He starts texting me, making small talk, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought he was literally flirting with me because he was. It was like the weirdest. And I was like, are you kidding? Like, you're cheating on your girlfriend with me? Of all people? Like, that's where you're trying to go with this? That was only the half of it. He then says to me, I have a crazy question for you. I said, oh, Lord, what is it? He proceeds to ask me, hey, so her birthday's coming up. Would you be down to do a three-way with us for her birthday?
That's not a fun birthday present.
If
my man got me a three-way for my birthday, I'll break up with him.
I was literally shook. I was like, does she know about this? Because if you're asking like another girl, and he goes, oh, she's bisexual and she's always told me how much she's attracted to you. And like, I mean, I am too. And like, blah, blah, blah. Everything, all these memories start flooding back. I'm like, that's probably why she talks about how big his dick is so much. Like, she's always like, she would always talk to me about him and how good the sex is and like how blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was always just like, oh, good for you, girl. Like, get it, you know? I didn't think about it like that because why would I? I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't me. Nar.
She's a good girl. Not a naughty one.
And I don't deserve to be punished.
No. It's been a long afternoon.
We're just done. We're done. But anyway, that's the other story that I really had to tell. And after that, I'd never spoke to him, her, or the friend ever again.
I'm going to say this, and you literally have to American Idol bleep this whole thing. But do you remember when...
Every time.
That's whole, like, I want you to just bleep, bleep,
I'm
bleep,
going
bleep,
to.
bleep,
It's going to be a
bleep.
constant bleep, bleep, bleep. That is just wild to me because I remember that story. And
then, like, knowing her, I'm like... Anyways, that's just funny. Sorry,
it
guys.
was just wild.
I think we need to call it.
I feel like we're done here.
We're done.
It's been the longest day. So sorry, you guys. But hopefully next time we don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. But we probably will.
We will, for sure.
Because we just never luck out, apparently.
At least our setup is nice and
cozy.
We have matching sets.
Right. We're we're chilling, and we both have to work tonight, so we're going to be done here. Because of all the reasons I just said. Done. Cue that clip.
Done.
Okay, anyway. Love you guys. Have a great day.
1, 2, 3, let's go!